Hi, I'm Dr. Pooja Sharma. The topic which we are going to discuss today is screen time. How much screen time should we give to the child, and how to get the children away from the screen. Children less than 5 years must spend less time watching the screen. It is so easy to get into addiction of screen, but it's very difficult to get rid of the screen time. Screen time include watching TV, it includes playing video games, it includes watching cartoons all the time, it includes you are working on the computer. So all this includes in screen time. And screen times makes your children inactive. Their energy levels will be very low when they are not involved in any physical activity, because they are spending more time sitting and watching screen. It can be anything, whatever they are watching. It can be a cartoon, it can be passive watching of the TV. So make sure that your child is not watching screen for long, because it may impact their physical development also. So you need to set certain limit for watching TV or watching the screen for your child, and it has a huge impact on attention span of the child. So brain in this, what happens, normally brain don't take time to take a break, because everything is so continuous and your brain is not actually involved in that, and there is no two-way communication over there. It just from one side they are getting instruction, one side there somebody is talking, but nobody is encouraging them to talk over there. They are, if you just observe your child when he is watching a mobile or he is watching a TV, they are just still. Or even when we watch mobile or TV, our complete attention is over there, and we are not moving, we are not expressing over there, we are just watching it with the very, very flat face. So of course which is not a healthy habit for the children. So in our next segment we will discuss how much time we should give to the child as per the WHO guidelines, how much time as per the age, how much time they should spend in front of the screen. So let's see. So WHO says infants which are actually less than 1 year should have no screen time. No screen time is completely, like, even they should not have video calls also. So there should be no screen time till the age of 1 year. After 1 year, 1 to 2 years, they can have less than 1 hour of screen time, which include the video calling with the family members also. So when they do video calling, at least there is an interaction between the family member who is on the video call other side and with the child. So that video call is recommended, and it should be less than 1 hour. And for 3 to 4 years, it should not go beyond 1 hour or 1.5 hours. That is the maximum time limit which is given for screen. It includes video calling with the family members, any educational program or any rhyme the child is watching, any cartoon the child is watching for a day. These timings are for a whole day. So make sure that your child follow these timelines or time limits you can set for your child, which are recommended by WHO. So let's see what are the consequences of too much of screen time, how it's going to impact your child behavior, and even physically how it is impacting your child. So let's see in the next segment. So consequences of too much screen time may impact fine motor skills of the children, now which are very important when the child enters the kindergarten. Which these fine motor skills are required for writing purpose, because when they are completely involved in screen time and they don't have time to play with the toys or play with other things or other activities, of course their fine motor skills will also take time to develop. So that is the first impact which the screen time has. Then the vocabulary and communication skills and eye contact are also reduced, because they are again they are spending more time on the screen. So how to socialize with the adults, how to socialize with the other children is also reduced, and their eye contact is also reduced due to increased screen time. Then next, developmental delays are documented with increased device use. So for example, it is also linked to ADHD syndrome, which is very, very prevalent these days among the children, especially the urban area children. Then attention span, decision making and cognitive control is also reduced, and next is creativity also suffers, because when they are completely into the screen time and they are not involved in any activity, of course they are not creative, they are not making something on their own, they are not using their imagination, they are not using their thinking power. When they are watching TV or when they are watching screen, their mind is passive, they are just looking at the visuals, but they are not doing it on their own, they are not using their own mind. So that's how it is affecting the cognitive development of the child. And then there are some psychiatric problems are also reported in many researches. And especially in the night time when your child is watching and before sleeping, it becomes very hard to make the child sleep in the night. Raise your child risk by gaining too much of weight. So if your child is of course sitting, it's always correlated with less activity with the obesity. So make sure your child is active. So more he sits, more there are chances that your child will gain the weight. Then there are a lot of TV commercials which many kids actually enjoy, and they are focused on the kids, maybe especially for the infants and toddlers, and it's so much of fun to watch them. But they may have ad for unhealthy food, which might be more sugary or have more fat. So when they see those attractive ads, they feel like it's very tempting to eat those foods, and when you serve the same food, then they will get into that habit of bad eating also. And another thing, when children eat in front of the TV, they tend to eat more, and you can imagine eating more and then sitting for longer duration, of course it will take them to the obesity. So you have to make sure that your child is not eating in front of the screen. So these are the main reasons, and of course it impacts the eye of the child. If the child is completely addicted and he is continuously watching for a screen for hours and hours and hours, so make sure that it has to be reduced. So these were the consequences why we what is the impact of screen time on your child behavior and on the physical development of the child. So let's see how we can decrease the screen time for the children and even for the adults also. So if your child has computer or TV in his room, so make sure that first thing you have to remove that from their room. You should not give that facility to your child, because it's very easy for them to play the TV and for you it becomes difficult to monitor the child if your child is little older. Do not allow TV watching during meal time when you are having a family meal. So make sure you make it very, very interactive with the child. Talk to the child, talk about the food or what has happened in the day. So instead of you're just watching the the TV and then you're eating, so make it a rule of the family. Then do not leave TV on the background, because it's very distracting, and that is kind of a passive screen time where you have not kind of assigned a time for the child, but still the child is watching and even everyone is watching, and this passive watching is also not great for the development of the child. And during meal also, if you feel that if you want to play some music, you can play the radio, you can play some nice music, or otherwise you can just simply talk, family talk you can have. I think that is what I would suggest. And you can have some other activities such as family board games you can play hide and seek with your children, you can play with the puzzles, you can take your child for a walk instead of sitting in front of the TV. So evening walks are so great, morning walks are so great, and playing with your family members, involving the child, it will not only reduce the screen time, but it will create the bond between the family members. So make sure you should involve children in some kind of activities. Very, very important thing is the children love to imitate. So you must have seen your children imitating when these days, earlier the children used to imitate tata, bye bye, and hi, hello. But nowadays the children imitate the parents calling. You must have seen they keep their hand like this and then they pretend that they are calling. So that's the age where they learn through imitation. So they are imitating adults. So when they see their parents or they see the adult person in the family, most of the time they are on the phone, they are calling or they are doing the video calls. Of course, the child is going to imitate the same. So as a parent, as a caregiver, you have to be the role model of the child. So I'm not saying that you should stop calling immediately, but reduce it and make sure that you are giving attention to your child at the same time. So if you are spending too much of time on the screen, of course your child is observing and they feel that it's very normal to spend so much of time on the screen. So if it's not impacting my parents, then that means it's normal thing. So be a role model for your child. Involve your child in a lot of play. Take your child to to other friends' house, let them play with the other children, and that's how they will socialize. Otherwise, if they are more on the screen, they won't be able to socialize, and socialization is one of the important aspect of child growth and development. And all these, when we talk about these developments, are social, emotional development, we talk about physical development, cognitive, language development, all are interrelated. So if child is socially very good in language, of course the child will be very social because he will be able to express. When child is able to express, of course he is able to think. Whatever he is able to think, he is able to express. So all these domains, all these developmental domains are interrelated. So it's not that you have to work only on one domain. So you have to work on all the 4 to 5 domains which are important for the development of the child. And if your child is older, so don't give them mobile for a longer hour. Set a time limit for them. You have to give them the time. Okay, these are the fixed time after your school hours. This is the 30 minutes I am giving you, or 45 minutes I am giving you to watch. Or you can have together screen time where the child want to watch some cartoon, you can also sit along with the child. Or if you don't want to sit, okay, you just turn on the TV that very moment only when the child want to watch. Once that that cartoon or that series is over, you have to switch it off immediately, and after that there is no TV. Or if you're watching on mobile or YouTube, the same thing you have to do over there only. Then you have to set one no device time for your family, where nobody is using device, not father, not mother, not the child. It can be you decide what time is good for no device time. The best time which I will suggest is before the bedtime, 1 hour before the bedtime. It impacts not only the sleep of the children, it impacts the sleep of adults also. And sleep is very, very important for everyone, and for children especially, for their development, for their physical growth also. So make sure you have that 1 hour of no device time where nobody is using the device. You can have a talk, you can play, you can just do chit chat with the child, with the family members. Involve child in normal discussions. That will be, I think, really, really helpful for all the parents. And you can there are many apps. If your child is little grown up, if a younger one, for infant, toddlers, preschoolers, still you can control. But if the older one, so there are a lot of apps are there which you can download on your mobile, which will help you to observe the screen time, calculate the screen time, how much they have spent. And there are apps which are used for the child control apps, which app they should watch, which video they should watch, so that you can track what your child is watching. Then use screen time this is something for the older kids. Use screen time as a privilege, not as a necessity, not as a right for them that they have to watch it. So it's not a right, it's a privilege given to them. And when you set the rule for them, specific time period for them, don't extend the time okay, they have done something very good, and then they are negotiating with you. Okay, mama, can I just have instead of 1 hour, can I have 1 hour 30 minutes of screen time? So in such cases you should not compromise. If you have given them 1 hour, it has to be 1 hour. It cannot be given that those 30 minutes should not be given as a reward for them, because these rules have to be very, very strict with the children, otherwise they will get into that habit of negotiating with you. So these are the few strategies which you can use with your children, even the younger one and the older one. For, as I told you, WHO says no screen time for the children who are below 1 year, that is infant stage. 1 to 2 they can use maximum less than 1 hour, which include video calls, and 3 to 4 years they should not use it more than 1.5 hours. If it's lesser, that is much better. If it's, and that too has to be educational videos which you are watching along with the child, not just any random videos for the children. And I hope this video will help you, will give you little insight how you can stop this addiction of screen time. If your child is not addicted, it's so great. And if your child is already addicted, then it will take some time for him to get rid of screen time. Make sure you comment and share the topics which you would like us to discuss along with you. We will be happy to share our knowledge with you. Thank you so much.